Nick, I'm going to start with you. You guys obviously touched on this a little bit before, but Robert Saleh to the Jets, coming from San Francisco as the 49ers defensive coordinator, how are you feeling about this move?
I think it was one of the best that they could have made in their position of having a sort of difficult job to undertake, right? When you look at the Jets, it is not positioned in the greatest of places, particularly when you look at the division that they are in, but also some of the stuff that's gone on. And then you've got the media and all the stuff that are some of the drawbacks that come into taking the job with the Jets. I mean, I think that their management is headed in the right direction. Joe Douglas has done a good job. Ownership is a little bit shaky for sure, right? That has not been somewhere where the Jets have certainly checked all their boxes. But to me, when I look at this job, it's going to come down to dealing with what's in the division, and that's to me where I'm a little bit skeptical of not only, and this is not a Robert Saleh thing, this is anyone who they hire and comes in, because Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are playing outstanding this season, 13-3 record. They got to find someone at the quarterback position who can help them compete with Josh Allen and the Bills. And then, okay, well, Miami and Tua, you're wondering how he's going to develop. There are question marks, but again, coming into the draft, we've seen jumps that quarterbacks can take in year 2 and year 3. Just got done talking about Josh Allen. So what is that going to look like in the same division with a coach that I think a lot of people think has done a really good job, and Miami's picking 3rd overall, and they'll have a lot at their disposal. And then the other team in your division, who everyone is sort of writing off right now, is coached and run by the consensus greatest coach of all time. So they are in a really difficult spot. Now they have cap space, they have draft picks, and Joe Douglas, I think, has proven that he's done a decent job. You look at the draft that he's done and made, the draft picks he made this year. I think a lot of people are encouraged and like what they've seen. To me, it's going to come down to finding the quarterback, and that's really all that that's all it is. That's what the NFL is about at times, and I'm confident Robert Saleh is going to come in and potentially change the culture, bring a new energy and a new attitude to what the Jets are doing. At the end of the day, player buy-in is about winning, and that's what it comes down to. So I'm interested to see how it goes. I think it's a good hire for the Jets. At the same time, they got to find a way to figure out that quarterback situation. And in this division in particular, I think it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier, Nick, but I feel like the Jets, with this decision, they really needed to nail it, especially coming from their past with Gase and with Bowles. This was a really important first decision. I mean, you talked about everything that needs to be done after that, and that's a lot, especially in that division. But this decision, I really liked it because they finally got one right here. I feel like obviously we can only say so much because he hasn't really done much yet. All we can say is that he's a good fit for the organization, and he looks like he's going to help change the culture, as you talked about, a different attitude, upbeat, more energetic. Certainly a little bit of a contrast from Adam Gase, which I think will help this organization and kind of transfer from a losing culture of the past to maybe a little bit more of a winning culture in the future. Maybe not immediately. Obviously, there's quite a lot of time to go and a number of years for them to develop. But right now, I really think he's a great fit for this organization. We're not so sure. I want to warn Jets fans from getting too excited too early because we haven't seen him on the field, and we don't know what he's going to do with the Sam Darnold situation. We don't know how he's going to handle the uphill battle that he's been placed in. But I think he's up for the task. He seems up for the challenge. By just taking this job, you're up for that challenge. So I would trust Salah, and I would trust what he's going to plan on doing. And I think the biggest thing and the most exciting thing for Jets fans and for this organization as a whole is the winning culture and the different attitude that he's going to bring to this organization that I think will help them in the long run.
Yeah, Sam, I think you hit the nail on the head there. This is a Jets organization that just finished 2-14 for their 5th straight losing season, 10th one out of the playoffs. You need a change, and it can't just it starts with the head coach. Players who were interviewed after their final game, all of them were talking about a lack of identity and a lack of a winning mindset. And here you bring in this guy who, like you said, has a lot of energy. He's very positive. He's intense. he's basically everything that Adam Gase wasn't. And I think he can really come in here and give them a culture shock. And I mean that in the best way possible. He can really change the mindset for some of these players and get some of the players to buy in better than they have, in the previous few seasons. And I feel like there are some questions because he is such a defensive minded coach. You've seen what he went in there and did with San Francisco, taking them from one of the worst ranked defenses in the league to a top 5 in the past 2 seasons in just a few years. So defensively, there's no questions. And then if you're looking at the difficult quarterback situation that he's going to come in and deal with, he's had an upbringing under some of the best offensive minds in the league, Pete Carroll, Kyle Shanahan. So he can take some of the lessons that he learned under some of those better coaches and hopefully apply that to, dealing with this kind of confusing situation with the quarterback situation there. And, there is talk of him bringing in Mike LaFleur, and that should hopefully make an impact. I don't know, Nick, if you want to touch on that a little bit more. Obviously he was on Kyle Shanahan's staff with the Niners as well, and they've been successful. So maybe it goes beyond just bringing in a head coach, but also, what decisions Joe Douglas and the rest of the front office make going forward with the rest of the coaching staff.
Sure, that's crucial. He's the Mike LaFleur, that is the San Francisco passing game coordinator. So they split between run and pass game coordinator, Kyle Shanahan calling the plays in San Francisco. And the consensus around the league is that he's a really good coach. He's the brother of Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers right now. And he was somebody who I think a lot of people are high on potentially in the next couple of years to have a head coaching job himself, with the way that the propensity for teams to have that rapid ascension for those younger offensive minded coaches who can really come in and turn around their quarterbacks. So that's to me what it comes down to. And I think that's if that's true. Again, there's nothing that's confirmed because technically Robert Saleh is not officially been hired by the team as of yet. They have an agreement in principle, so he'll get his staff together. It's obviously happening. He's not Josh McDaniels, but the point is you'll see what LaFleur's about early on. And I think that Jets fans are going to be happy with that Kyle Shanahan style of offense in a guy who has been really instrumental in working with a number of quarterbacks. That said, Mike LaFleur is not Kyle Shanahan. If he was bringing in Kyle Shanahan, you would feel like, oh my goodness, now you've got that sort of opportunity reclamation project with your quarterback. But to me, that's what it comes down to. And it's a tough bar to clear, because the quarterback play does not just have to be serviceable. It does not have to be good. It has to be great, because when you look at their division and the conference, that's what they need to do to be successful. It's not having a middle of the road quarterback to make this thing work. A sort of, okay, well, we feel like Sam Darnold's at a place where he can be competent, or he can turn into a Jimmy Garoppolo, and we feel like, all right, well, he's not a total loss. No. That's not what's going to win in this AFC with the landscape of really, really good young quarterbacks. He's got to elevate, whether it be with Sam Darnold or finding someone else who can elevate to the level of a Josh Allen, of a Lamar Jackson, of a Patrick Mahomes. That's Justin Herbert. That's what is going to win in this AFC right now. So that to me is the biggest thing. I've got limited questions about Robert Saleh and the job that he's going to do as a head coach. But at the end of the day, even Bill Belichick has proven that without a quarterback this year, you can't win. So Belichick, I'm sure, put together great game plans and did enough against the teams that also had the middle of the road quarterbacks and did what he could do. But at the end of the day, when Cam Newton is playing quarterback for you this year, you're not successful. The Jets need to find the quarterback. And forgive me if I'm sort of going away from the initial reaction of Robert Saleh, but as much as we don't know about him, what we do know is that he won't be successful if he doesn't have a quarterback, and one that can play at times at an elite level. I don't know if Sam Darnold's that guy. I don't know if they can find someone elsewhere. I don't know if he's in the draft, but that's what it is. It doesn't matter what Robert Saleh does. He can change the culture. The culture can only change so much without winning. And to win, you need to ace that quarterback situation, which the Jets have not done perhaps ever, perhaps since Joe Namath.
Yeah, I mean, just touching on that briefly, I agree with you. I think we're talking about a winning culture here, and we're talking about changing all that. Yeah, it starts with winning football games,
Right.
and that might be, you know, a few years down the road for the Jets. And I'm not so sure if Sam Darnold is the permanent answer for that. I don't think he is, but right now Salah's got just a lot on his plate and a lot to think about with Joe Douglas here. So it's going to be a few years. But the good news is they have some cap space, they have some draft picks. So we'll see what they do with that. And I think Salah, there's no doubt he's a good fit on the field with this team. And I'm sure LaFleur will be a good fit as well. I trust in his judgment to take someone like that, who's been highly regarded across the league by Shanahan also. So I trust that. But I think there's a long road ahead, and it starts with what they do here in the NFL draft upcoming.